All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is Tuesday, November the 15th, 2016, and the title of tonight's webinar is Trading is like a set of stairs, up and down. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk, therefore there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we might have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, if not, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, one thing I want everybody, before I even show the next screen, I want you to try to commit something to memory, okay? Every time for the next month, or let's say through Christmas, through the end of this year, every time you walk up any set of steps, say to yourself in your mind, I'm going long, okay? I'm not showing a chart yet, David, but what I want everybody to do is I want everybody, when you go up a set of stairs, I want you to say in your own mind, I'm going long here, okay? When you start descending those stairs, say, I'm now going short. And get that into muscle memory, because trading is all about stair stepping, okay? Trading is really just as simple as stair stepping, in my opinion. You don't have to be, have a degree in mathematics or, have any phenomenal fancy indicators and all that. You really just have to know how to trade the stair steps. Okay, now I don't have charts up right now, and I'm going to show you a real simple set of steps. This is the steps that you'll normally be walking up, right? Well, we know trading doesn't work that way. Okay, if it did, it'd be pretty easy to tell when you step down here, you're starting to step down the steps, right? Okay, but when you're going up those steps, you want to think of going long. This could be 13 steps up. Maybe it's an apartment you're in or something like that. But every time for the next 2 months, when you walk up any set of steps, think of going long. And when you walk down them, think of going short. And get that into your mind. Because you'd be surprised how many people still cannot see where those stair steps are in real time. And you have to be able to see it. Okay, because if you can't see it, you're going to be doing some little boxes in and maybe get whipped here and there or something like that. If you look at the medium trend, to give an example, you can pretty much tell where the thing's going. Okay. All right. So trading is like walking up or down stairs. We're going to all commit that to memory, right? It's easy to get lost in the forest. That's exactly right too, David. And that's why I personally like the webinar chart that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Okay, but you just really have to train your eyes to see the different trends on your chart. But just think of them as a set of steps up and a set of steps down. You have a micro trend, you have a secondary trend, you have a medium trend, and you have an overall trend. Okay, now with that in mind, and I'm going to show you a chart next. Okay, we're going to look at this chart. And anybody, I'm going to start on the left side of the chart, and then I'm going to go to the right side of the chart. All right, you're walking your steps, okay? What is this doing right here? It's going down, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Now, don't leave in droves, because that's as simple as it gets. But believe me, there are people that still cannot see the trends on a chart because they look too much at, just like David said just a second ago, to give an example, it's easy to get lost in the forest, okay? But it's not easy to get lost in the forest if you'll trade with the trend, because when they're going sideways and all that kind of stuff, they're still in a trend. They're still either going up or down. Okay, they may be going sideways at the time, but they're still part of an overall movement. Okay, and you'll be able to tell that by simply drawing on your charts control key, right? Now that looks like an uptrend, doesn't it? Now this is the part right here that gets some people fooled, and I want to show you this in a little bit of detail. Okay, I'm going to draw a line across this top. Let's just say that all you've gotten is right here so far, and I'm going to go ahead and back this chart up just a little bit. And we're going to do some actual trading here in just a minute. All right, but let's say that you hit a top like this and you walk in the room and you say, okay, this is where I'm at right now on my chart. The higher highs and higher lows, okay? That's so important because, you know, to me, if I was looking at this chart right now without anything else on it, I would not be looking for a short until it takes this out. And I wouldn't be looking for a breakout trade. Because what usually happens when they do that, they come down a little bit below it and they pop right back up. So you want to be careful with that. But to me, this is a high, a low, and a higher high. Now, when this actually goes here, we don't know that's an identified swing yet. Okay? And that is ultra, ultra important. Because if this is not an identified swing and it doesn't take this top out right here, like so, do you think that's going to hold? And the answer is no, but where's the identified swing on this chart? Right at this very moment, and you should be able to type it in if you've been to any of my webinars. Anybody? I won't call out names. There you go, lots of people typing it in already. Yeah, exactly. Your identified swing is right down here. They haven't identified this swing yet because they haven't taken out this high here it's just not established yet. You see what I mean? This is a high, but this is not your established low until they take this out. So what do they do when they do that? They barely take it out. They fake the breakout traders. Okay? Somebody goes short when it takes out the swing. So I'm short, I'm short. And what did you get? Maybe 2 ticks by the time the bar closed. This is probably going to be your new lower. So in other words, high, low, higher high, higher low if it takes out this swing area. But this isn't even established right now. This is your established swing. But it's still an uptrend. Everybody see that? Now, when does this swing get identified? And I know I go over this quite a bit, but it's so important. Okay? When does this get established? When it takes out that high right there. Okay? Now, when this takes out this high like this, then more than likely this is your new low, and you should get a higher low again. So you have a low down here, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and if they come down, they should respect this low. See there? Now, when did this swing become identified? Well, obviously when you take out this swing here, right? So in other words, when you're looking at it in real time and you're seeing this going up, it's trying to go up, is this swing identified yet? Just like this one wasn't? No. But when this swing gets identified right here is when it takes out that high. And that is as simple as it can possibly get. While this is retracing, you know, this being the same high, they had a high, a low, same high. Doesn't even count over here, does it? High, low, higher high. Is this low higher than this low? And the answer is yes. So it's in an uptrend. Okay, now that doesn't mean you can't do some of these, you know, where it double tops and you want to try a short and you can get some of this, sure. But what I'm talking about mainly is people that aren't as used to trading and they're getting kind of whipped around at those openings and things like that. Okay, because in the room, you hear me a lot of times call out like a phantom, like on NASDAQ to give an example. It might have been a 5-tick short, but it was a heck of a lot bigger long. And I'm going to show you how to see that tonight so you don't just get into those little trades that can cost you. Okay, so if it takes out 43.63 close of the bar, you can take a short. You're saying where now? 43.63. I'm not seeing 43.63. You mean 43.53. 43.55 right here, right? 43.53. Well, it says 43.55. So yeah, I guess you could say that's 43.53. But see, the thing is, Pervez, you don't take a short there though, okay? Because is this an uptrend? A little bit of a pullback, higher low, higher high than that, higher low, higher high, higher low, okay? We don't know this is going to be our new low here yet because we haven't got any more data on here. I can run Lightning 1 and see because this is real data. There's where it is right now. So basically this little swing is probably identified, isn't it? Because it actually took out this high with the close of a bar and then some. See it? So that swing is actually identified now. So now that's your new low. The indicator that puts those on the chart is with our template that we send out, James, on your question. I always use Lightning 3. If anybody needs a template, by the way, bear with me a second, and I'll go to Viper. And let me go to the member site real quick. Should be able to get there with my login. I haven't been on this. There we go. All right. Your template for members is always on your member login. You know, always it says welcome Gary or welcome Pervez or welcome James, welcome Tom, Carl, David, anybody, okay? And of course, I know I missed like 100 of you, so I just quoted a few. All right, so you go down here though, and we've got the template right here. I always keep that template updated, and that's the exact template that I use in the trading room. So it's always got Lightning 3. This is real data. This is a real chart, and you can even get that template that's on here, even has the template for the webinar that I use. I put both of them on there. Okay, so if you want to get those, and then you just simply put it in the folder. You know, path for the template is Documents, NinjaTrader 7, Templates/chart, and you just drop the template in there. And then when you go to your chart with NinjaTrader, you'll actually see the template will be in that little drop down. Okay. See, I've got 3 templates on mine. I've got Ultimate OT Power Meter MTF and OT Power Lightning for some reason. And then Webinar Teachings. That's the only templates that I use. Okay. But this is actually a real chart. This will help you get the trees out of the way so that you can see the forest. So, pardon me, so that you can see through the forest and get those individual trades. Okay. Now, does everybody see that this was only the low when this was taken out over here, but now that this has been taken out over here to the left, this is your new low right here at 04. Everybody see that? So if we're going to head up using Lightning 3, don't you think 04 should hold up on any kind of pullbacks? It absolutely should, right? Okay, everybody see how to do this. Before I go any further, I want to make sure everybody in this room understands that that's exactly how you tell what the chart's doing with those higher lows and higher highs. Don't get faked out with these little breakdowns. All right, understand, good deal. And it looks so simple, and it really is, because this chart that I've got right here is exactly this chart, right? I don't even have the chart. Let me just pull one up. Take a second. I have all black charts tonight instead of my regular chart, but I can have one up in just a jiff. All right. This is where we're at right now. Now, does everybody see that? See if you draw your Lightning 3 from down here, Control key. If you have to punch it twice, high, low, higher high, higher low. And of course, if you go all the way over here where we did it from before, look at this. High, low, higher low, same high, lower, but that's a phantom trade. Where was your swing? Remember we said where the swing was. The swing that would change directions was there at the time. Okay? Now, once they take out those tops and everything, of course, that changes on a continual basis, right? Because as soon as this is taken out over here, see the 72 to 81, that became your new low. Then when this 81 was taken out, where we're at right now, that was your new low, okay? And then when this was taken out, see there, it hasn't printed yet because it hadn't printed the numbers, but you can still tell that's a higher high than that right there. This is what we call a lightning 3 swing because it took all those bars to form it. So this is a real good indicator. So right now, my low is right there. And if they take that out, then guess what? I'm probably not heading up anymore. Okay? All right, so let's see if we can get a little trade. We've got basically what? We had a good one set up right here at a predictor, but we missed it. Let's say we weren't up until 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Let's see if we can get another one. And I'm going to show you how to just play the predictor. Lightning 3 is very much so the medium trend, in my opinion. Now, if you get a swing that's like really close, like say 26 to 24, and then maybe a 28 or something, you got like several of them in a big choppy range, then just look down to, you know, another swing down. Usually, as a rule, if it takes this many bars to form this is usually around 30 ticks, 25 to 30 ticks at least, and sometimes it's a lot more than that because the thrust's a lot stronger. See how that went from 55 all the way to 26? Okay, notice it didn't print any numbers in between there. That swing, and all the way up there. Then this swing, and once this decides to draw, and it may not even draw here, it depends on this price action here, the way lightning draws, but we know before this ever draws that this is our low because this high was taken out. Okay? Stair steps take precedence over power meter and background color. Well, actually, Charles, Charles S., the power meter is this. That power meter 3 is on your chart right here. That is your power meter 3. Now, if they were to close below that swing right here, that meter would turn red. Doesn't mean to short it right away, though. Let's say that you were trading, and we don't even know what's going to happen because I don't trade at 2 o'clock at night. But let's just say that they broke this swing right here. All right, and then they came back and kissed it. By then, your prices would be all the way down here, right? And then under it and then back. They'd be kissing, right? And then you're looking for this trade to roll over, okay? But this is not what's happening in real time. You've got a high, a low, and a higher high. So you're stair stepping up. You're actually heading up on a trend. So the thing what I'm trying to get everybody to understand tonight is more of this, be careful just boxing in, let's say, for instance, that it oscillated around mid-band here, and you know your lows down here. What if it oscillated around mid-band like here, and then you know that your low's right here, and you've got to wait for a bar close below that to begin with? Would you take that trade short? Because I wouldn't. And a lot of times when they're getting shorted at mid-band or something like that, which is fine if you can scalp like that, but I like the idea of when these predictors are green and blue to take longs. Now, if you get the mid-band turning yellow and flattening out for a long time, then you can take some of the opposite. For instance, you can consider this to be a white one in that case, but not while it's stepping up. When this is stepping up like this, you're going to want to be predominantly long, okay? Because, for instance, hindsight is 20/20, right? Well, what if you would have boxed this in right here? Well, that wasn't your lightning, was it? Your lightning 1's right here. So you just now be barely in this trade, and with expecting a higher low, would that be a good trade even? Not necessarily, right? Because more than likely, if this is going to bounce, it's going to bounce off that predictor. Not enough profit potential, right? Everybody see that? Now, I showed last week where you can do some of this, but if you do it, I'd highly recommend doing real quick scalps. For instance, if I see a trend line in my mind like this right here, I probably wouldn't be taking that trade because it's probably going to hit its head right here to begin with. See what I mean? So let's just see if we can get a trade. We'll put Object Trader on here. And judging by what we've got, we expect a higher low than this. Now, keep in mind, Lightning 3 is this trend from all the way down here. Okay, or what I mean by that is it's Lightning 3, which is actually those larger swings. Okay. Now, you've got the same stair stepping with your micro trend. Okay. Your micro trend is just these little movements where it just does, well, like this, like that. See it just kind of moving around. So where is your identified swing on this chart right this very second? Well, it's right under here. See, high, low, higher high. That low would have to be taken out for it even to break my micro trend. And would I take that short? No. See what I mean? Because my medium swing, high, low, higher high is right down here. Okay? So what you're looking for when you're trading like this, just simply, let's draw the Lightning 2. Okay, Lightning 2, you've got a low here, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We know that's a higher low when it takes out this swing, right? Takes out the swing, gets a low. When was this low established? This is your established until it takes this out. Once it takes that out, that's your established swing. It's that easy. Anybody have any questions on how I did that? Stair stepping your way to being, totally self-dependent, on your own abilities to trade, just totally fishing, for a life instead of being fed. Okay? So until it takes this out, even on what I call my micro trend, I'm not looking for shorts even on my micro trend yet. Now, I could say that my micro trend is high, low, lower high. See, it didn't quite take that out. So when it took this out right here, that was technically a lower low, and you could have possibly shorted that because that meter would have gone red. I'm not going to teach that as much tonight. I'm going to try to show you how to stay with the overall trend. Okay, so looking at this chart, I expect that swing to hold. I expect more than likely to bounce off of that predictor right there, don't you think? I mean, is it pretty logical that that's where it should bounce because predictor drew there? So let's play it and see if we can get that. And if I'm wrong, where would my stop be? Let's see if we can even get it at all. I'll take it when it comes down to that line. Now, we could go ahead. I'll show you the safe way to do it and also an aggressive way. An aggressive way would be when it comes down on top of that swing and that predictor drew to grab it because you're still getting a high, low, higher high. So I expect it to hit its head right there. That's how we draw in that room every day. Okay, we're still not heading down just yet. We'll see if we can get it. Yeah, there you go, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. The whole idea of trading, if you use minute charts and everything, you'll never see this stuff on your charts. Okay, but the stair-stepping way to trade is a beautiful, beautiful way to trade. Okay, I'm going to show you a way to trade aggressively. I'll go ahead and put that on like 10 so we can try to get one contract at 10. And then I'm going to show you how to add to it if we don't get taken out of the trade. Where's Lightning right now on this chart? It's right here, isn't it? See it drawn? There we go. That's good enough. See it? That's right at my predictor. Is that going to work? We'll find out. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's going 15 times normal speed. Okay, see where it came down to the predictor? Okay, notice how we got into the trade. Okay, we drew 2 lines on it. Did that swing hold or not? It barely took it out. Okay, it barely took it out. Now, let me show you the way to do it a non-aggressive way. Okay, we're going to watch for lightning to go back to the upside. I'll leave the 1 on, but watch this meter when it actually changes. My stop would probably have to be just right underneath here with exit on close like that. I'd give it those 8 ticks because there's your next swing down right here, secondary swing. Let's see if we can get this. There's your little lightning more than likely forming right there if we get a higher low. See your thrust, retrace. When they take these out, now what they're going to do is they're going to check that line right there. Watch and see if they don't do it. Because when they barely take something out, they go, okay, well, we took that one out. We didn't take this one out, but now we're going to check this one. Okay? Watch and see if they don't do it in real time, because I bet they do. Okay, if it goes up above that line and we get a green meter, I'm going to fire 3 contracts. This is more the safe way to trade, okay? Because you're still high, low, lower, low, lower high, lower low. Now you're going high, higher low, but you haven't taken out the high yet, even on the micro lightning. Okay, see why it hadn't drawn yet? I'll put it on lightning 1 so we can see if we can get it a little quicker. There's the dot. It hadn't even drawn it yet, but it will draw it. Now I would probably go 1 more right at that line. See that? Because what's it doing? We're still in an uptrend. We're trying to bounce off this line right here. All right, that's aggressive trading right there. Okay, and if you get too aggressive and they go against you, you got to have a pretty tight stop. And I don't recommend doing this. You know, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just reverse that if it takes that out, by golly. No, because what it'll usually do, it'll take it out by 3 ticks and then go back up. So don't do that. Stay with the overall trend. All right, now let's look at the safe way to trade it. Where's lightning trying to form? You got a little thrust, little retrace. This is a higher low so far. Will this be my lightning change green? We're going to find out. See if it is. If it is, it is. And always be looking at your charts too to say, okay, where am I looking if this does break above here? Where's my target? Well, I see a target right up here. That's my swing. Thrust, retrace, thrust. So I've got a target way up there, don't I? So let's put our line back at where that'll change to green. Man, did I pick a slow time, mercy. I'll kick it up to about 8 times, hopefully. If it takes us out, we'll have to look at another trade setup. If they close above that line, I can add one. Turning it on, because if that closes, that'll close above that line. See, I've got 3 ticks on it right now. Getting ready to close, maybe. Watch lightning change. There we go. All right, see lightning change, by the way? Now, thinking about going up and down your set of stairs, I'm going to pause this for just a second. All right, thinking of going up and down your set of stairs. High, low, higher, high. What are we doing, gang? We're heading up a set of stairs, right? We hit the platform at the top. Starting to head down, right? High, higher, low, higher, high, lightning changed. Are we stair-stepping back up? And the answer is yes. Now, how much easier could it get than being able to take the stairs? Than that. See what I mean? Okay, so let's look and see where we're going to take some profit. Got a swing here, we're going to take some profit. Like that. I've got another swing right here. I'd probably take some profit there also, and that's predictor right there, so we're going to take some profit there. We'll ride our runner with the stop underneath lightning with exit on close. Now granted, that's a 6-tick loss on my last contract, so hopefully we get another lightning burst before it comes back down. But let me ask you a question before we go any further by what I've talked about in many, many webinars. You've got a low, a high, a higher low. They thrust up. What's the rule of thumb? Pullbacks, right? Don't you think that more than likely they're going to pull back and test that line right there? Now we're in 4, so we're not going to add anything to it, but I'll just about bet you that they thrust up above, they'll pull back and they'll check it. We'll see if they do. But everybody see why that meter went the green color and everything? Because lightning's no longer heading down. Lightning's heading up. Now that's better than a box in, isn't it? You have both lightning 3 and 2 on there. I have actually lightning 3 and 2 on there. That's correct. And you can even put lightning 1 on here if you want. Let me get rid of lightning 2 and I'll show you. I'll put lightning 1 on. There's lightning 1. See, lightning 1 was taken out when it took this out, but it hasn't printed yet because guess what? You haven't pulled back at all. Once you pull back and do a little zigzag, that'll print up. Okay? So it looks like we got us a pretty nice little trade. Where would our stop be on this chart if we were thinking of just using a little pullback? Well, right now you'd have to be under here, but when I get that much of a thrust like that, I'm usually pretty cautious because they're at least coming back to here. Okay? So what you could actually do is put your stop just a little under that because you expect a higher low, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? And then higher high again. That's what we want. Okay, let's see if we can get something. And we'll go ahead and turn exit on close off and back on. That way we've got our one contract actually showing that's all that's left on the chart. When do you use the top of lightning, not the bottom for targets? Well, you use it the opposite, Kenneth, on your question. Like when you're long, for instance, and you thrust up, you're going to pull back to the tops. When you're short, you're going to thrust down below and pull back to the bottoms. And then, of course, you'd have your top as your stop and vice versa, the bottom on your stop on these, on your lightning. Okay, now I would say more than likely that this would be enough profit for a lot of people for, what was that, about a 25, 30 minute type of a trade. That was also a beautiful yellow bar probe. It came down right where we thought it would to lightning, barely kissed it, took it out. Okay. Now what I'd normally be doing on this, if I've got one contract on and I want to go ahead and ride this, you just hit another target. You're right at predictor. Here's your top right here. And if they don't take that top out, you're going to come all the way back down to here. Everybody see that? More than likely you're going to come right back down to here because that's where they broke out. That's where they're going to check. That's why we draw those lines on those charts every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stop back because I'm going to try to ride a runner. I expect a higher low and I expect them to hit their head right there. And I'm going to jump in more contracts if they do. Any reason why they do that? James, it's really just their algorithms and the fact that support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. And it does it on all three trends. That's the beauty of trading our system is once a person sees the overall trend, you know, take the pullback type trades. And if you're a scalper type person, you know, like in today, to give an example, I think YM was pretty well sideways for a while. And boxing those in is not the way to do it. Buy the ellipse. You know, if it was a pink background, for instance, short the top one. If it's the green and blue, buy the bottom one, because that works quite well. I'll show you that on NASDAQ from earlier today. Okay, what does everybody think? I'll bet you, because they thrust up and there's no zigzag, see it? No zigzag, straight up, they're coming right back down to there. They touch it, and I'm going to go 3 again. They even come within a tick. It's within a tick, maybe 2. Yeah, it might be 2. Might be I might be 1 tick early, but I'll take it. It won't fire until it closes up. See, this is your bar close feature. There it is right on top of the swing. Let's see, just 1 sec. For some reason, I really can't see longs. I can easily see the short trades. Don't trust myself when I go long. Sounds crazy. That's okay. On that question there, what I want to teach tonight is how to see these longs. I think what you're used to, very possibly, James, you may have been taught to be a little bit more of a counter trend trader. I know a lot of traders that absolutely, they do just short. You know, they look for resistance and boom, they short it. And those can be risky trades, by the way, because how many times have you seen it? Whoops, we just lost it. I'm going to go again because it's right at my line, right on top of support. Now I've even identified the swing. All right, so we're going to go long on a bar close to the upside. That actually printed a predictor. It didn't quite come down to it, did it? There, we're in it. That one just barely took me out while I was talking. Everybody see why I jumped back in that trade, though? Because we're still in an uptrend, and what do we expect in an uptrend? A high, a low, a higher high, and a higher low. Everybody see that? Now, is this swing identified right here? And hopefully everybody answers that right. Right, the answer is no on that. It is not identified. Is this swing identified? It's a little micro swing that's getting ready to be. This is what we call the micro trend. And watch and see if it closes above this swing. But still, your identified swing will be here when it takes this out. Okay? But when they micro up, you know, you can go from one trend to the other. Okay? So in other words, if this goes thrust, retrace, thrust, and lightning forms, all right, with my lightning 1, we'll see if we can get lightning 1 on here. Just a second. I'll draw it right down here. There we go. Let's see if lightning 1 forms. Just let it ride. Because this is what I personally like to do. If I get a lightning swing and I know that I'm stair-stepping up, then I want that swing, because I expect that if this is going to head up, that little swing will hold if it identifies it. Okay, let's see if it identifies it. I'll go about 10 times normal speed. Now everybody sees what I'm talking about, right? You have your lightning 3, which is your overall trend. You have your lightning 1 and 2. And is this swing identified right here? No. See, it didn't close above the swing. Everybody see that? That is not identified. This one still is. Well, not really. This one's not identified yet either, because it didn't take out the high over here. Now watch and see if we get an identified one right here. If it takes out the top, will it identify it? Man, this is slow, isn't it? Not identified, is it? So it could still go lower. Now, will this be my identified swing instead? See how that works? We're not identified until they identify it, and they haven't identified it. See, that's even lower, so it's not identified. Everybody see that? Now it's even lower. It's not identified. because this one isn't even identified. I would say this one kind of is because it did a high, a low, tried to take out the high, so that's pretty well established. I usually put my stop just under there if it does this type of action. But you want to be careful with that. I'd probably lag it back a couple of ticks. Let's see if we can get on identified swing. See the power meter? Red. Yeah, we got 3. That's enough. See if we get this thing identified. That's your new low. I'll bet you if they take out this swing now, so they don't have to take this one out because this is a high, a low, lower high, lower low. So that's your new high they would have to take out. Usually when they're that close like that, I like them to take both of them out. It's even better. And then that swing is identified right down here. This may even be our new identified swing here pretty soon. See it right there? Now, couldn't you put your stop, like, if this is close here and you see another swing to the left that's close, you could always lag it back just a little bit. See that? But you can also get as close to the swing as possible if they're really trying to thrust up. That's good enough. Swing's right there. Exit on close. Everybody see that? That's just a pretty darn good way to trade. Now, where's our profit target on this particular one? We've got our stop in. We've got a target right up here at predictor. Right now it's at 45, isn't it? We'll see if we can go higher. If not, guess what? It'll come back. Where does everybody think it's more than likely going to come back to? A predictor, right? Well, if you set lightning and your dot properties come up, what you're doing, you're accidentally hitting like this. You're kind of hitting dots or something like that. You got to make sure that you're not hitting an indicator. And the unfortunate part is we have a lot of indicators on the chart, so it is easy to do that. I do it all the time too. You just got to click it again and then hit it. Where's our stop now? Right under there, right? Lightning swing. Get one of our targets up out of the way. That was a beautiful little trade, wasn't it? Now let me ask a quick question. If you missed this trade entirely, can anybody see the next trade on this chart? Because with what I just taught, you should be able to. Okay? Let me show you. Let's get all this off so we can see it. See the trees for the forest, so to speak, right? Oh, why I did that. All right. Let's look over here. Let's see, we've got support right here, which are already taken out at 40. All right, looking to the left to trade the right, that's our lightning swing, right? Right there at 35. Everybody see that? That is our lightning swing. Now, if they do happen to come and take me out, I'm looking for another trade, by the way. I've got a high over here, a low, not a higher high, so that low doesn't count. High, low, higher high. This low is actually my lightning identified swing on more my secondary type chart. Everybody sees that? Okay, let's see if we can add to this if we get an opportunity. Lightning swing is right here. If they take us out, they take us out. We'll go back in. Where's it telling us right now that we'll probably bounce? Well, looks to me like they'd have to bounce before here if you draw this. I'll draw it. See the low? What's the definition of an uptrend? You need a higher low than that, right? So if they come down to test anything, they shouldn't take this out. This is my identified swing right this very second. This is not until it takes this out with the close of the bar. Everybody see that? Okay, so are we looking for anything but uptrends right now? And the answer is no, right? And I want to show you how to be able to see. It looks to me like we're going to more than likely even get like a good pullback if they don't start taking some of these highs out. If we do, then we'll get a good run. That'll be fine. Only uptrends, absolutely. Because, you know, while somebody's taking some little shorts and everything, we've just been dabbling around and got 690. Okay? And by the way, if you get good enough to see this in real time, that could be, you know, $2,000 as far as that goes. Okay? But in that room, one of the reasons that, you know, we talk about where the trades are rather than actually, you know, just simply walking somebody through it. We're a teaching organization and we want people to see the trades in real time so that they can take the trades. If somebody in the room just goes and takes, you know, 4 contracts or, you know, whatever, 5 contracts or something like that, that's not teaching somebody how to trade. The reason those charts are drawn on is so that we can all see the identified swing. Now, let me ask a question. I'm going to just shut this out and I'm going to ask you where the next trade is on this chart if we pull back and take out lightning to the downside, if one of those turns red. Because you should be able to see it, what I've been talking about. You got a high, a low, a higher high. So if you were just walking into the room at 4:30 in the morning, don't you think you'll have a trade somewhere down in here with a higher low? Exactly right. Because if it's going to keep heading up, you need a higher low. The whole idea of an uptrend is higher highs and higher lows, right? Now this may just keep heading up. We'll find out here in just a minute. If we get any kind of a pullback, I'm always looking for where to get into a trade and watch and see if a good old predictor doesn't draw in time for us to see the actual trade. And I'll draw it on the chart before predictor ever shows its head. How's that? Y'all want to see that? All right, so I am going to draw it. 37 is my low. I got another one right here at 40, so I'm going to draw another line. And if midband comes up this way, which it looks like it might, we'll just go ahead and keep this out of the way for a minute. Where's my lightning swing to put my stop? Identified, right? I'll tell you what, if you want to trade and make money, identified swings is the way to do it. Don't fall for these little bitty breaks. You know, look at the medium trend. And when the medium trend gets broken, then you can take those shorts, okay? Or vice versa on the long even. But this is doing the lightning dance up, so why in the world would you want to be anything but long? Okay, we've got our lightning swing at 45. Is it going to take us out? Well, it may get a higher low. We'll find out. Right now, our identified swing's right there. Now, I'm not one that personally likes putting my stop all the way down at mid-band. I did something like that with Russell today, thinking it was going to bounce, and literally gave up $400 out of my money just in no time. I like lightning. You know, lightning swings is really where it's at. You know, if you want to use the secondary one instead of the little quick one, that's fine too. But to me, that lightning swing is right there on that chart. And if it takes it out, it's going to go down and check a medium swing or what we call a secondary even. See your high, your low, like an ABC. That low can't be taken out. Now, more than likely, that low is actually going to get one of those numbers before it's over. Because see all this action that's happening right now? See this little 30 tick move right here? I'll bet that gets a number before we're through. And it may take us out. And if it does, where's my trade on this chart? Well, you could actually, you want to just do it that way? We can go ahead and do this instead and put it under here and then go ahead and add one if you want. But see, that's giving back a bunch. My lightning swing was probably better, right? But let's see if we can get another trade to begin with. We'll just try it. It's at predictor. I'm going to go ahead and take a higher low, and I'm in. Okay, my swing over here that's identified, high, low, higher high, even higher low, barely higher high. So we got taken out, but we just went ahead and kept it so we could get in some more because this swing held. That's a secondary swing. Now, if it takes this out, we're going to be out of the trade, period. We'll see if it does. Now, do you want the safe way to trade this one? Let me show you. Lightning swing right there. Get ready to buy it if that turns green. See there? That's a little riskier as far as stop though, because see, I got in when it closed the lightning. And they always pull back a little bit. Now we expect a higher low. Everybody see that? Now see if meter 2 even goes. Very possibly it could. See how ahead of time you know where it's going? Because you know by looking at your lightning swings, when they barely take out these highs, you know, just a few ticks, that can still be an identified swing, and it really was right through here, right? So you took it out, but look where you got back in. Now, like I said, this is what we call the lightning type trade, and I liked it much better down here. But that's somewhat of a risky trade too, because what if you got in on that bar and it flipped below and took this out? Well, you get stopped out. But when did this change to lightning back to the upside on lightning 1? I'll show you. See that swing right there? It's going to draw a line here in just a second. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, didn't move my targets. That can happen to you. So we're going to wait for another trade, right? That was a monster, wasn't it? Okay, now let's diagnose our chart in real time so we can see what it would take to change trends on this chart. All right, I'm going to get rid of lightning 3 even for a minute. And with what I've taught tonight, I want everybody in here to go ahead and diagnose this chart and tell me, and I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. Now the way I see this, even without drawing lightning 3, but we'll draw it anyway. I'm going to draw it from here is fine. Okay. We've got a low, don't even have it established here. Notice if you go to a green and then a yellow that's close like that, it goes ahead and draws. It has to go from yellow to yellow to another green one. Well, this one hadn't formed yet. Okay, so where's our medium swing on this chart, like I taught earlier? It's way down here. So let me ask you a question. If it holds that swing, is it still an up move? And it is, isn't it? Exactly. So now that's right now. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be in the next 20 minutes, but right this very moment, you got a high, you got a low, you got a much higher high. All right, you just got your power meter to the downside. All right. I personally don't like this one until we get down to at least here. And anytime they shoot up like that with nothing stopping it, be careful with these predictors like this, okay? And box it in instead. We'll see if we can get into this trade. We'll do it the safe way. Because anytime they shoot up like 50, 60 ticks, you got to be careful with these predictors like this. No lightning back to the upside anyway yet. Still lightning down so far. So where's your lightning swing on this chart if it was to decide to go up? It's not identified yet, right? But it will be right there if it does identify. See your little thrust, retrace. It's trying to identify that swing. We can draw it if you want to see it. See, it's right there where I drew my line. And we'll wait for either a box or a predictor and see if we can get in this trade. Lightning back to the upside would have to take out 83 right now. And it's going lower, so we may get another box. Now, could you have shorted this up here? Yes, because it did a lightning. You saw that power meter change, and that had plenty of room to go down even to mid-band. But I'm going to show tonight more how to trade with the trend and staying with Lightning 3. See if we can get a trade. And let's look at one other thing too. How many thrusts have we had? You got to look at that when you're trading. Okay, they were going down here, so you had a thrust up, a retrace, thrust up, retrace. Well, let's get it spread out more so we can see it. There we go. All right, so you've had a thrust up, a retrace, basically a thrust up that barely took out the high, so I don't really count it. So this is your high, your low, your higher, your higher low, higher low, and higher high. So you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9. Even if you do it this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's too many thrusts. You're going to come lower. And you can do your fibs on it then. Okay, where's your lightning now? It's right there. Everybody see that? We're almost out of time, but I'll show you. Now your lightning is right there, isn't it? That was a phantom. I just missed that little dude. I'm going to take it. I need a bar close down first. Come on. There we go. All right, I'm going to go a phantom. That's a predictor right there. And my target is mid-band on phantoms. That's all I really care about on a phantom is mid-band. Now, when does my lightning actually change back to the upside? It hadn't yet, but see how it kissed resistance and rolled over a little bit? There, my lightning just changed. Everybody see that? And you got you a decent little trade, right? Look where lightning formed. That's your new low. So is your low way down here now? No, it's right here. It looks like we're going to chop around a little bit. Let's see if we can get a predictor. See how choppy this is starting to get? What are we looking for? We're looking for longs at green predictors, right? So let's see if we can get one. That was awful close. I think I just missed it right there. Usually, whoa, gives you time to get in. That was too quick. Anyway, see where it hit the predictor? I got the trade, but I got it way late because it's shotgunned. That was 7:30. I'll probably protect that right under there just in case because I wanted filled right down here, not way up here. Everybody see that? You want to see, well, let's look. High, low, lower high, higher low. So right now, you're still looking for another predictor, if we can get down here and get one. Support. There's your quick support. Swing. This is sideways, so there we go. And I'm going to put my stop right in underneath there for my runner. Okay, now what do we got? We got a little bit of a downtrend, right? Everybody remember taking this trade this morning in the room? We actually got this trade. And if I remember right, we boxed this in even right here at 8:30 and got this move. Yep, see it? Just came and kissed support. Now, that's a little riskier trade, but you can watch for that particular trade all the time because where was your identified swing on this chart? Well, it was still here on our secondary swing. See how you had a high, a low, a lower high, higher low, and it never really took this out even, so this was actually your identified swing and it never took this one out. I even called that live in the room and said that was actually support. I remember that. Okay? Anybody see how to trade this a little bit better? By using, well, we just got stopped. Does anybody see how to do this on a continual basis. I got this thing going 200 times. I'll slow it down. All right, looking at this chart that we're looking at right now, where's your next trade on this chart? I see it being right across here. That's mid-band, and that's also a little bit of support area. So wouldn't you be looking right down there? You're starting to see it. Good deal. Because you can see on this chart right now where the next trade is. If you just draw it, watch and see if it doesn't give you a trade. Let's see, you got a thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. So you got support right there, right? And if it goes any lower than that, you got support right across here. Okay? We haven't had a mid-band trade yet. That's support. That's also a 12-range support. See the dot right there? And we'll see if we can get it. Do you wait for a little movement up to take that level? You mean, well, when it's done this like this right here, no, this has actually changed trends to begin with. We even got this trade here this morning. Remember, Charles and I boxed this in? But I also called this trade here because you could see it in real time. We drew it in real time. See that mid-band right there? That's also support. That's your swings right across there that busted up through. It's going to test them, and it's going to take off. Hope this bar closes down, not up. I'll go ahead and turn that on. This one should close down. They usually like to fake you. Didn't quite get down to my 74 like I wanted. But they got to my predictor, didn't they? So if that closes up, I'm in. And what do we expect? Remember what I talked about earlier? Look to the left to trade the right, and you had a low, a high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher than that one, right? Takes out this top, higher high, higher low, higher high. So that is your swing, and you should get a higher low again. Look to the left. You've got a retrace going. If you want to trade it the safe way, you can box it in. I'd say about right through there. If it takes out that line, I'd probably be in it. But we're going to get it in anyway. Okay? Does anybody see now how we call those trades in the room and are quite accurate on it? Because if you look at your charts and you see the stair-stepping action, don't fall for these little quick. Did you notice? Even on this trade over here, we'll just cut it off. We don't need this. I want to show you something. I want to show you something that happened in real time this morning. And we're going to take all this off. And this off. There we go. All right. Anybody see this low right here? I'm going to draw a line under it. Now look to the left. See the thrust, the retrace, the big thrust up? Retrace never established lows, did it? Where did it establish the low? That's why we took that trade this morning even at support, because it literally bounced right at support. Okay? That's still an uptrend, even though this changed, because you had a low, a high, never took out this low, and you never really got even a higher high here. See, it just barely took that out even over here. So this low is pretty much going to be established on our longer term trend only when this gets taken out to the top, if it does. And real quick, we'll just see if it did. I won't trade it. We'll just turn it on 500 times. There you go. Just got taken out. Now where's your low? High, low, higher high, right? That's your medium swing right there, isn't it? Wow, look at that thing run. Remember, we got a bunch of this today. And you can wait for a bar close up. You can trade it more aggressively if you want to. You can trade it. Here's your swing right here, isn't it? Now, what did I say just a minute ago about swings? And we'll go ahead and wrap up. High, low, same high, higher low, higher high. so on. This is what we call the medium swing. So let me ask a quick question on this. Is this a downtrend yet? Midband says it's not, right? So you want to take a quick, we'll see if we can grab it, and then I will close. I'll do it at like 100 times. See it take out that lightning right there? I'm going to put my stop just under the swing, and we'll ride our runner. Medium swing is still up, isn't it? Even though this stuff changed, this is still an uptrend. That's why when we get these medium trends that are still up, I don't like these quick shorts. Could you have shorted this under midband? Well, maybe if you saw it afterwards, but you know, to me, there's another trade, by the way. That predictor, isn't it? Right there at midband. If you missed it, there's another one. I mean, they're all over, aren't they? Where do you think the next one will be? Well, by the same judgment that we've been using, I would say that's a new low right there, right? If it gets anywhere down near that with a higher low, I'd probably take it, and that was probably it. See it? Anyway, that should be enough for tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And just remember, do your homework too. If you climb up a set of stairs, say, I'm going long. And your family will think you're nuts, but just do it. And then when you're climbing stairs in the room, you know, and you see lightning 3 is still long, stay away from those shorts. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, not a higher high, not established at that time, right? But once it took this out, like up in here, it's established, plus this one's even established now. See it? And when they're close like that, I usually call one my primary and one my secondary. To me, it would take taking this out to change trends. Right here. At least now. Now, as soon as this pops up a little bit more, it'll be this one. Okay, this one here where we got the line drawn. All right, let's do it again tomorrow morning. Thanks everyone for coming. I ran about 7 minutes over, not too bad. All right, and when you go down a flight of stairs, say, I'm going short. And don't go short until it's climbing down that set of steps. Have you ever misstepped on a step and practically jarred your whole body because you missed a step and you thought it was there and you kind of stepped down hard? That's what will happen to you if you go the wrong direction. Think of it that way. All right, see you in the morning. Bye, everyone.